Am I checking game?
Yeah, you're good, Jeff.
Awesome, thank you.
Alright, testing, 1, 2. Alright, hello and welcome to the Misfit Motorsports Racing League truck race at Kentucky Speedway. Watching the practice here, looks like we have Blake O'Connell here with a little less than 10 minutes to go, leading the way here with the fastest lap time in practice, followed by Matthew Miller and Kurt Rittenberg rounding out the top three. Seeing as how we're creeping up on 9 minutes to go, I'm going to see if I can drag a couple drivers down here and get a little pre-race interview and see what kind of plans they have to take on this track. So stick with us and we'll be right back. Kurt, do you have a copy on me, bub?
I sure do.
All right, I thought I would start.
Been running some practice laps a couple days ago, and running pretty good now. How the track temperature is looking, and staying behind a couple trucks. I'm looking for a good top 5 finish, if anything.
All right, I did notice that you had the Verner's truck here. Is there anything special about that?
Well, the truck scheme was supposed to be designed for the 23 for David. He's been off for a little bit, so I thought I'd bring back a throwback for him if he's up and around watching, and hopefully we can take it into victory lane for him.
All right, dude, I like it. I like it. All right, currently you're sitting in fourth. The gaps look very close. What do you think? What do you think it's going to take to win this race today?
I think it's just going to have to be clean and save your tires a little bit and try to figure out what the groove's going to end up being. If you can pass and stay on the high line to push them low to burn up their tires, but you gotta keep up with them the whole 100 laps, and hopefully we can do that without getting into too much trouble. And then coming down pit road, I think that if we do green flag stops, that's going to make or break a lot of it to bring up that gap.
Right on, man. Well, good luck. I will let you get back at it with about 6 minutes to go, and we'll see if that plan can come into effect, bub.
I appreciate it. Hopefully see you soon.
Alright, that was the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg, currently sitting in fourth. I'm going to see here if I can get the practice leader, Blake O'Connell, in the number 4 machine, see if we can get a quick chat with him before we start here. Hey, Blake, you got a copy on me, buddy, old pal?
Oh, I sure do, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Sitting P1, how's it feel in that number 4 machine?
Normally I'm a lot more confident than I am. I don't know what the heck's going on with this track. I don't know how to drive this track at all. I don't know how I'm number 1 in practice right now. I don't know what's going on, but it's gonna be fun.
So, all of my next questions you are basically not going to be able to answer as to how you are going to stay up there and win this thing.
I mean, just consistency. I'm gonna take it slow to start, not make mistakes, not push it too hard. Just going to ride it out the first 50 laps, not try to push anything too hard, and just by doing that, I'll get a better feel of the track and learn how to pass guys, and yeah, we'll go from there.
You think track conditions are going to change that much and people are going to start having a problem, or do you not expect that?
It's tough to say. Not knowing this track that much, I'm not really sure what exactly will change. It may be harder to hold the bottom. You might see some guys start running the middle. Some guys might start just running the middle altogether, like from the get-go. So, really tough.
All right, bud, I'll send you back up to it. Let you go talk with that crew chief and see what you can do to stay up in that P1 position, man. Everybody's looking really close so far, though.
All right, thank you very much. Enjoy the broadcast.
All right, man, thank you. All right, we're closing in on about just a little bit under 3.5 to go. Again, that was the number 4 machine of Blake O'Connell. I think I can squeeze one more guy in here. Let's see if we can talk to Brandon. Laura's currently sitting in P9. See if he's ready to chat. Hey, Brandon, it's Jeremy. You got a copy on me, buddy?
What's up, Jeremy?
I was spilling through the standings here, and thought you'd like to talk to me for a minute and see what kind of plans you had to get out of the 9th position there and move up.
Fire the driver and hire you?
What's going on? You seeing anything kind of wicked out there yet, or?
First laps I've ever cut at this track, and I just can't quite get the corners figured out yet, no matter what I do.
Sounds to me like a follow the leader till the end and busted in there for a win at the end then.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna take a super speedway strategy, just kind of lay back at the back, and hopefully a couple guys wreck out, and I can just eke something nice out of it.
Well, first time on the track, you noticing anything you kind of like out of it, don't like? You seeing any tendencies yet?
Just a little bumpy. Just, I don't like it. We can go back to Kansas.
Oh, I know, and it just gets better as the race goes on, by the way.
Yes, sir. So, just play a little follow the leader and see where I end up.
Alright, you got about a minute and a half to go figure it out. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And that again, with just over a minute left, was the number 49 machine of Brandon. Currently sitting there with a 32.389. About 50 seconds left to go, and we will get this thing underway here at the Misfit Motorsports Racing League. Alright, we are back. We are here with live qualifying. We're back here with live qualifying. Let's take a ride with Jeff Gilmore here. He'll be piloting number 57 machine. See what kind of lap he can turn here. first lap in the books. It looks like he's going to be sitting in the 4th position with 32.273 going on lap number 2. Let's see if we can hit up Ed Burrell. Driver number 21, Sierra Nevada Hot Bullet, Chevy Silverado. Lap for Ed there puts him in 6th place with 32.434. As we got a few more qualifiers coming up here, we can go to the number 3 of Scott Brotherton. Cranks a nice lap time of 32.195, good enough for 5th place. Nice top 5 to start the evening off right. And we have about 6 minutes left in qualifying with about 3 more left to qualify, whether they're going to start in the back or try to get that first position in qualifying. But as it stands right now, it looks like we have Blake O'Connell in the number 1 spot, followed by the number 1 of Jeremy Bazemore. 3rd spot's going to go to the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg. Number 22, Mike Perry, will be in 4th. 5th is going to go to Scott Brotherton in number 3. 78, Matt Miller, he will be in 6th. Jeff Gilmore in 7th in the 57 machine. 8th is going to go to the 21 of Ed Burrell. And we're still going to wait these last 5 minutes out for number 49 of Brandon, the 05 of Mark, and the 222s of Jess to see if they're going to try to go for that number 1 spot or just start the race in the back and see how the race develops. So with a little less than 5 minutes to go, we'll take a break here and get ready for the green flag drop of the Misfit Motorsports Racing League race at Kentucky Speedway. Okay, and we are back. We are all gridded up and actually taking off behind the pace car for the Misfit Motorsports Racing League live truck race at Kentucky Speedway. Again, we got the number 4 Blake O'Connell on the pole position, with number 2 position going to Jeremy Bazemore as we take this one lap around. Get them tires heated up and ready to take a couple laps around this track and see what we can come up with towards the end. Green flag waves. We are underway. The number 1 truck, Jeremy Bazemore, he gets a heck of a jump off the restart here. He's going to come around, maybe can hold the outside line and take some momentum with him, take that top spot. Looks like they're going to come out side by side, pretty much single file behind them, as the number 22 ducks under the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg. Still a great fight for first place, so going to be a 3-wide battle for first, as it's too close to call for me going over the stripe for the first lap. Blake gets a nice run coming in to turn 1 out of turn 2. Bazemore coming with a lot of speed and momentum coming off on the outside, and they are wasting no time staying 2 and even testing 3-wide this early in the race, getting all the positions they can right at the beginning. Bazemore finally uses that momentum to the outside, takes the first position away from Blake. Kurt in the 00 third, 22 of Mike Perry in 4th, and Scott rounding out the top 5. Blake O'Connell showing that he is not ready to make friends out here, as he gets right on his back bumper of Jeremy Bazemore, takes it to the inside. Neither is Kurt, taking that 00 wherever he wants to make them two boys uncomfortable. Looks like Kurt's got the 00 in position on the inside to try to take that away from Blake O'Connell. Bazemore is not happy about giving up second place, as Perry really decides to show himself that he wants a little bit of taste of the front as well. Starting lap 5, no one has given up. So far, all of the interviews that I've had before this race, everyone's going to lay back. It is not the case at the beginning of this race. They threw that strategy right out the window. 4 new freshies, and they're ready to go. So we got Bazemore kind of dropping back a few spots, saying hi to his buddy in the number 3, Scott Brotherton. Maybe a strategy move, or maybe got a little out of shape. We'll have to check with him later on that. So check on the leader here, the number 4, Blake O'Connell. Just coming up to finish lap 6, go on 7. Starting to pull away a little bit, but as tires wear out here and that bumpy track starts messing with you, I think that lead will be reeled in. So we go to second place, the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg. He's under heavy pressure from the 22 of Mike Perry. Doesn't look like he's going to give him any room to try to pass, however, so they may be just teaming up, trying to catch that leader. And talked about the 22. Mike Perry sitting in third place. So Scott Brotherton has moved up a position. He's now in fourth. Starting to catch third and second place. Maybe wants to try a little battle there, or you know, 8 laps in, maybe we can just ride it out and see what happens with the fuel and tires on this first run. Number 78, Matthew Miller in the GoPro Chevy. He's sitting in 5th place right now. Go back to number 57 of Jeff Gilmore, sitting in 6th. Bazemore has dropped back to 7th place. Number 21 of Ed Burrell, sitting in 8th. Brandon in the number 49 is in 9th. Mark in the 05 is in 10th. And Jess in the Triple Deuce, running in the 11th spot. So we head back up here to Blake O'Connell. Now leading, led 7 laps here. Looks like he's got a nice little pace going. Kind of found his rhythm. Like I said, as these tires heat up, wear in, fuel starts going down, we can start seeing how slick this racetrack is going to get. See how strategy is going to play there towards the end. Go back to the pit battle here for second, third. So we got Kurt still holding off Mike Perry, and now Scott Brotherton. He sure came up in a hurry, and he decides he wants to mix it up a little bit too. We'll go ahead and take a ride with Scott so we can get a nice view of this battle here. Alright, and it does look like the number 22 of Mike Perry, he did get around the 00. And now his next mission is to chase down the number 4. It's a 1.7 second gap between Mike and Blake, but like I said, as these tires wear down, gas tanks start to empty, things get a lot looser. We're going to be able to see who decided to save their tires. Maybe Blake set a nice pace and he saved his. Mike could have burned his up trying to catch him. We'll see who can hang on and come out with a win here. We'll go back here and check on Jeremy Bazemore as he's mixing it up a little bit with the 78 of Matthew Miller. Well, side by side into the turn. Looks like he has got Scott and Kurt ahead of him. He does make the move on the inside on Matthew. Has his sights set on the 00 and the number 3 next. If he can pick them two off, that would put him in 3rd place already. Another guy that looks like he wants to flex some muscle a little bit is this 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Looked like he was kind of hanging back there for a minute. Now all of a sudden he wants to get his number on camera a little bit. Looks like as these tires are warming up, that's kind of suiting his driving style. So here he comes on the 78 of Matthew and the number 1 of Bazemore. We'll see what he can do here. one crazy battle going on here for 3rd, 4th, 5th. Geez, even 6th place. Scott, Jeremy, Kurt, Matthew, Jeff. All these guys want to fight for as much track position as they can early. And it shows that they do not want to give anything to anybody this early in the race. It's going to make the end of this race even that much more exciting. Take a wide shot here at this battle. It's getting quite intense. As I look up to the 1st and 2nd spot here. Oh no. As we go up front here, we look at the number 22 and the number 4 sitting in 1st and 2nd. Mike Perry has closed this gap, and he has closed it in a hurry, only being a half a second behind now, coming from 1.7 back. He may want to take the lead here this early before they have to come in and pit and get some tires. As we take a live shot here of Blake and Mike. You can even see the 2 different lines as they come in. Looks like Blake likes a little bit of the higher side as Mike dives it right in on the entry of the corner. Both ways will work here. They're going to have to see though with this track temperature and plus only running 60% of the fuel that these trucks usually hold. What this is going to do for tire wear and their pit strategy as Mike starts to look low. Blake's not having it. He carries too much momentum on the outside for Mike to make that move this early. Looks like they follow the leader here. Mike starts to look low a little bit as they cross the start-finish line and coming into turn 1. Blake goes down to block his line. Mike decides to take the high side. Let's see what can work here. Blake gets a heck of a run off of turn 2. Taking it down the back stretch, stretches out his lead a little bit to about 0.2 seconds. 22 starts looking low. He's got him at the start-finish line, and it looks like he's going to complete this pass and take the lead from Blake O'Connell. Now that that is shaped up, we'll go back here and check on the 00. Seems to be falling back a little bit. Could be a strategy move here as he crosses the start-finish line. Sitting in 7th place. Coming up on the number 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Kurt again looking like he likes that high line, likes that run off. As Mark in the 05. It looks like he's starting to settle in now as he's starting to make his way up to Kurt as well. Just behind him is the number 49 of Brandon. Sitting back doing just what he said in the pre-race interview. He wants to just take it slow, take it steady, get a feel for this track, get a strategy going as they go, and see what he can come up with for the end of the race. Sometimes a good strategy, keep that truck clean, keep it running, keep them aerodynamics right, and you could be a definite contender at the end of these races here. Pop back up here to 4th place with Jeremy Bazemore. Looking like he's about a half a second behind the number 3 Scott Brotherton. Kind of looks like everyone's just starting to come into their pace now. They got the battles out of the way, got that out of their bloodstream, and now they can just ride around, wait for that first round of pit stops, start setting up their strategy, and get these trucks to the end, hopefully in one piece. Number 57, Jeff Gilmore. It looks like he would like to move up to the top 5 before these pit stops. Takes a peek to the 78 on the inside, and it looks like Matthew just let him go by, saving these tires a little bit. Well, maybe he didn't. He comes right back up on Jeff. Could decide to take a peek here on the inside, and he does. He does not want to give that top 5 spot up as he takes it right to the inside, and looks like he could hold it depending on how much of a run Jeff got to the outside. Coming into turn 3. These two are running side by side, not wanting to give anything up, just as I said everyone was settling into a groove. Coming across start-finish line, and Jeff is going to hold on to that 5th spot. Matt settles back in, decides to try another run here, maybe in turn 3. Looks like the 78's coming in for the first stop of the pit stops there. Comes in, gonna get some freshies, get a full tank of gas, and get back out there and see if he can make up some time, as we have some followers as well. Number 1 of Jeremy Bazemore and the number 3 of Scott Brotherton there coming in. Looks like everyone's getting the same idea now. 00's coming in. Again, number 3 is coming in. Scott. 222 of Jess. Currently in 8th place. He decides to come in, get 4 new tires and some fuel. So it looks like we have 4 that have not pit yet. We're looking at the leader, the number 22 of Mike Perry. As I say that, here he comes in for his pit stop. Gives up first place to the number 4 of Blake. Number 57 of Jeff. He decides to bypass pit road. Same thing with the 05 of Mark, now in 3rd place. These are the only 3 that have not come into pit road yet. Running 34 laps on these tires. Could start getting dicey if they don't think about coming in the next few laps. Oh, number 4 of Blake O'Connell, he decides to bring it in. Losing a little too much time on them old tires. Jeff starts coming in as well. Mark decides to stay out just one more lap, maybe get a few laps led under his belt, then be able to come in. does. It looks like he's had enough. He's bringing in that Chevrolet down to pit road. Get them same 4 tires, full tank of fuel, and he will be out of there. As we cycle around, it should come to the number 22 of Mike Perry in first. And he'll be followed by the number 3 of Scott Brotherton. Number 1, Jeremy Bazemore, will be in third, followed by, and looks like he will be pressured by, the number 78 of Matthew Miller. Above the number 49 of Brandon, he will move from 9th to 5th after that round of pit stops. Jeff Gilmore in 6th, and the number 57. Blake, he is now in 7th. Kurt in the 00 will be 8th. 9th we will go to Jess. And rounding out the top 10 will be the 05. Mark in that Chevrolet, just completing his pit stop. Jump back up here to Matthew Miller and Jeremy Bazemore, battling for that 3rd spot. Looks like they give it up just a little bit for now. Seems like every time I say that, they start battling again. Just kind of riding around a little bit now as Mike Perry up front jumps out to probably the most commanding lead we've had so far. About 3 seconds ahead of the number 3 of Scott Brotherton. Really can't tell too much after that first round. We've got 100 laps here. We're looking at, well, at least one more stop. Depending on what strategy, they could do 2 more, but I think that would put you too far behind. .40 laps in the books here as we take a ride around with Blake O'Connell sitting in 7th place now after leading so many laps at the beginning here. You wonder if he took a few extra minutes, maybe made sure he got any damage that he needed fixed, or it could just be a strategy play, maybe ride in the back a little bit and move his way to the front after that. We'll see if we can get a interview with him, definitely, and see what was going on. As we jump back up here, the number 3 of Scott Brotherton, it looks like he is definitely closing the gap. 1.36 seconds behind now, as he is closing in on Mike Perry extremely fast. Pop back here to the 3-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. We've got the 49 of Brandon, 57 of Jeff, and the 4 of Blake, all wanting to be in the top 5 now. As Blake looks to the inside of the 49, puts a little pressure on the 57. Could have been a little contact there, maybe just a nice little light get out of my way. Jeff gives him 1 lane just below him as he carries so much momentum on that. Just 1 lane up will give you so much more momentum on the outside. Brandon is going to fall back to 7th place. 6th is going to go to Blake. 5th is still the 57 of Gilmore. As he rides that, just 1 to now he's 2 lanes up as he goes around, carries some momentum. But it sure does look to me like that number 4 runs really well on that inside line. Blake O'Connell, he sneaks in behind the 57. Gilmore hangs on to that top 5 spot for now. As we pop back up to the leaders here. Really, really tight gap here now. As we're seeing 2 totally distinct lines. Mike Perry and Scott Brotherton. Scott is really hugging the inside, trying to take the shortest way around this track. Mike is trying to carry so much speed coming off corner exit that he hopes to run away from him on the backstretch as Scott starts to peek towards the inside. He made it stick, and we are going to run door to door. Coming into turn 3. Side by side. Looks like we're going to have a battle here. Mike Perry pulls away just a little bit. Scott regroups. And here we are, side by side again. Scott takes a short way around. Mike takes the momentum. And it looks like the number 3 is going to lead his first lap of the night as he finally gets around the 22 of Mike Perry. Looks like that could have been saving a little bit of tire. Maybe got a feel for it that first run. Got some tires and decided, you know what? It's my turn to lead some laps. As he takes it around. Back here to this battle for 5th place as we have Blake O'Connell and Jeff Gilmore. Even with them 2 battling, it looks like they're coming up on the 78 of Matthew Miller. Looks like this is going to be another battle now for 4th position as the number 4 tries to take it to the outside of the 78. Matt takes the short way around, cuts down below that yellow line, and dives it into turn. Blake likes that momentum on the outside. He does. He takes the 4th spot away from Matthew Miller. Now it looks like the 78 is going to have quite a bit of pressure from Jeff as well. We'll take a ride here with Matt and see how his truck's in. Quickly up to the battle for first place. Mike Perry and Scott Rutherford battling it back again. Again, they're running the same lines again. Scott low, Mike high. Mike trying to carry some momentum. Scott is not going to give it up that easy as they come across the start-finish line. 54 laps on lap 54. Scott dives it back into turn 1, coming out of turn 2. Perry tries to hold on that outside. And I don't think it would take very long, but as these two are battling, slowing each other down, we've got a new contender starting to come up. And that's the number 1 of Jeremy Bazemore. It looks like he would like to join this party for a little while. Let's take a ride with him and see how this is going on in his truck. As we back out here, focus on Mike Perry in second place. Scott with the lead currently. And like I said, as these two are battling, Jeremy having the entire track to himself starts making some leeway in that third spot. Great run of laps here, as you see. Still totally distinctive lines from all three of these guys running up front. Scott running very low. Mike Perry trying to find something as he goes to the outside of Scott. Scott taking that short way around still. Mike trying to get that momentum. And again, as these two are battling, Bazemore's coming up. Not going to be long again until we see the number 4, Blake O'Connell. He's starting to come up into the picture. As we check in on Matt Miller, he is now in the pits. Looks like he is getting a new set of tires, a little bit of fuel, and he is off, ready to take these guys back on. Short pitting can help out. Be the first guy to get them fresh tires, make up as much time as you can. Back up front here for this almost four-way battle. Mike Perry making that outside work, but Scott is not going to give it up that easy. Falls back in line. Blake going under number 1. Takes third spot away from Jeremy Baseman. However, it does not look like Jeremy is going to give that up that easy, as he stays right on the back bumper of that number 4. Jeremy hangs it out wide, trying to get some momentum, as he does. Blake now having his eyes set on that number 3. Just peeking up high. His outside has worked for him, as he takes somewhat similar line as Mike, who's leading. Scott, however, is making that low line work. The low line is pretty rough on them tires if you don't have very controlled throttle control. As Blake ditches the outside, dives it to the inside. As they cross over to start lap 65, and he makes it work. Takes the second spot away from Scott and sets his sights for the number 22 of Mike Perry. Roughly just over 1 second ahead of him. Looks like the number 1 of Jeremy, he is coming in. Maybe why he gave that second spot up. Come in, get some 4 fresh tires, get back out there and make up some time. The 05 of Mark, he is coming in as well. He's had it, pits out of 6th place. Comes in to get them brand new tires and make up some time as well. It looks like it's going to be follow the leader, as everyone's starting to come in now. The Verner's 00 looks like he has a little bit of damage on that passenger side. Coming in, maybe get that fixed and get 4 new freshies. Gilmore in the 57, he's on the way. Number 3 is Scott Brotherton, he's coming down. Everyone playing follow the leader except the leader of Mike Perry. Blake looks like he's starting to slow down now. He wants to come in. Come in, get them 4 fresh tires before Mike. Mike did have a pretty good lead, about 1.5 seconds when Blake decided to come in. We'll see if that's enough to hold off when he comes in for his pit stop. And here he comes out of 1st place. Decides to bring that in and get them all important tires to get around this track. Check in here on the 49 of Brandon. Taking a lot of pressure from that 00. Kurt decides to dive it to the inside. Looks like he may be able to hold it. Yes, he will. As they come into the turn, Kurt stays low. Takes it, comes off high, and takes off for the 9th spot. Check on the 222 of Jess. He's currently sitting in 8th position. As he's coming down to the start-finish line, starting lap 69 of 100. Truck looking very clean. Again, it's hard to tell what kind of strategy these guys want to play. 2 stops, 3 stops, sit back, go for the front right at the beginning. Could be waiting for a caution, could just be riding it out, getting settled, getting it up there. Clock back in up here to the 22 of Mike Perry. He does still control that lead. We're about 0.3 of a second gap between him and Blake O'Connell. We'll take a ride with Blake and see if we can catch this battle cockpit style. As we start lap 75, Mike Perry is still holding on to that lead, but not by much. As Blake is just following him around, looking for his chance to pass. Soon enough, it looks like there's going to be some lap traffic to contend with, as we have went completely caution-free so far in this race. Blake peeks to the outside. Mike Perry dives it down low. Blake trying to carry momentum on that outside before they get to the turn. But Mike taking that short way around, he does get a nice run inside. As Blake gets the run coming off of the turn. Brandon in the 49 gives way. He goes up high and does not want to get tangled up with the leaders here. Coming out of 2. Mike still in the lead, holding on to that. Blake is not showing any sign of giving up on him yet. Going to try to make him as uncomfortable as possible. Look for any sort of mistake in any sort of window he can get through here. Does. He gets him. Blake moves to the front, but it doesn't look like it's going to be long-lived, as Mike's now decides to put the pressure on him. See how much he likes it. Looking low on Blake. Comes off behind him, get a little bit of a draft. Coming into the turn. Makes you wonder if that number 4 is doing a little rear view mirror driving right now. As that number 22 DXP Chevrolet stays right on that back bumper. Mike going low, Blake going another lane up, trying to carry some momentum. Bumper to bumper again as they come to turn 3. Follow the leader in 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2. Mike taking it just a little bit lower. Comes off of turn 2 with quite a bit of momentum for running that low line. Falls back just a hair. So coming to 3 and exit 4. Exit of 4. Blake now running some nice smooth laps. He knows he's up front. He's got a little bit of lap traffic here in the 00. Almost looks like Blake is using him for a little bit of drafting assistance. As Blake takes a peak low, Kurt decides to give way, give him the low line. Very good move. As I say that, or did he just give it to him? Looks like Kurt's ready to do a little racing. Does not want to be the guy a lap down when and if this caution comes out. Goes up high for Mike. Somehow in battling with that 00, the 4 and the 22 stay somewhat together still. Go back here and check on the number 3 of Scott Brotherton. Looks like he is running about 2.7 seconds. About 3 seconds behind the leader here. Sitting in 3rd place. So we go back and check on 4th place. Be the number 57 of Jeff Gilmore, and 5th place Jeremy Bazemore. These two want to race it up a little bit. Let's take a moment and ride with the number 1 of Bazemore, see what his view looks like in this little battle. Alright, as we jump out of there, we'll check on 6th place, Mark in the 05 Chevrolet. Brought us some nice clean laps. Looks like a very clean truck. Hasn't been in too much trouble tonight. Having a very nice run tonight. 7th place is Jess in the 222. Again, another nice clean truck. Ready to have a break go on. First car 1 lap down is the 00 of Curb. Trying to probably work through that damage on the right side there. Looks like he's got most of it fixed. Just trying to ride this one out. Hopefully he gets a caution here with 10 to go. That at least get him on the lead lap and a shot to move up a few spots and maybe contend for the win. 9th place is 49 of Brandon. Riding around, doing very good for the first time ever being on this track. 78 of Matthew Miller, I just seen he went into the pits and just came back out. Could have been having some handling issues, so we can check back on him. It's still only being 1 lap down, so even for having an extra pit stop, doing very good for having 1 extra pit stop than everybody else here. Pop back up here to the number 4, Blake O'Connell. Still leading as we come to lap 92 of 100. Pulling away just slightly on Mike. Well, 1.1 seconds ahead and now. As we ride around with this number 4, with coming up on 5 to go, about 1.6 seconds ahead of Mike Perry now. Now as long as he stays smooth, hits these marks, comes around, hopefully didn't burn these tires up as he was battling with that 22, should be cruising towards a victory tonight. Now, I know the number 22 of Mike Perry, if there is an accident or if there is a mistake, he's definitely going to capitalize on this number 4. He's just got to stay smooth, stay confident, hit these marks, and get this checkered flag. 3 laps to go now. 1.8 second lead over Mike. Still pulling some very nice speeds for coming to an end of a pit cycle here. I'm sure this track is getting completely rubbered up, super slick, and pretty hard to handle. These guys are making it look way too easy. As once this is completed, went 100 laps without one single caution. I'm sure that plays into people's strategy as well. I'm sure some people look for the strategy of caution could come out, maybe I'll stay out a few laps longer, get that caution, I could be up front. But when that doesn't happen, that really does play into your strategy. As we see the white flag come out, one more lap to go. Blake O'Connell coming down the backstretch. Pops right into turn 3. Takes that same line he's been running all night. Comes out of 4. And it looks like he will take the win. What an amazing race tonight. Caution free. Give and take. Battles 2 wide, 3 wide right at the beginning of the race. You really can't get any better than that. Few different strategies. 2 pit stops, 3 pit stops. Awesome racing tonight. Very good. As we go through the finishing order here, as Blake does his burnout. Second place is going to go to the number 22 of Mike Perry. 3 is going to number 3 of Scott. 57 of Jeff is in 4th. Jeremy in the number 1 is 5th. Mark in the 05 is going to be 6. Jess in the Triple Deuce is going to be 7. 8th is going to go to Kurt Rittenberg in the 00. 49 is going to go, or 49 is going to go in 9th, and that will be Brandon. Matthew Miller will be 10th in the number 78, and 11th will be Ed Burrell in the number 21. And we'll be right back, see if we can get some interviews here and see how this race went tonight. All right, wakey, eggs and Blakey. What's up, buddy?
Nice. Hey, how's it going?
Well, you pulled it off, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before the race, it was really going to come down to being patient and consistent, and that's exactly what my strategy was going in. That's exactly what my strategy was for pretty much the whole race. That first run, I went 1 lap too long before pitting and actually ran out of gas on the backstretch. I had to make up 10 seconds when I came out, and Scott and Jeremy and Mike all racing up there really made it easy for me to make that up, because I made up a lot of time just because they were racing, running a lot slower. So that helped me out a lot. I think that was a real great race between them too. Before that second pit stop, it was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, coming out of that, it turned out just behind Mike, and kind of just followed him around, waited for him to make a mistake, really, because I knew he was faster, but I figured if I could just ride around behind him, I could stay more consistent. Maybe he'd do exactly what he did, get into the wall, give me a chance to run for the win. So that's what we did.
Well, that's what I was noticing. I noticed you and Mike had two totally distinct different lines. Was there anything you've seen? I seen you like to run just a lane or two higher than he did. Was there anything you didn't like about that low line, or did that just feel more comfortable to you?
It just felt like if I was running the bottom, or at least the low lane, I guess, not the true bottom, I was burning up more tires, and the way I was trying to run was just easy on the tires, just kind of coasting, cruise control around the track. And I felt like running that high line, I was able to not use any brake and just pretty much coast into the corners and just save the tires a lot more by running the higher line, and it seemed like it paid off.
Nice. Well done. Congratulations. It's a heck of a race. 100 laps, caution free. That was killer, man. That was fun to watch.
All right. Hey, thanks, Jeremy. And shout out to all my lovely sponsors. Shout out to the Misfits League. Got to thank you guys for everything you do. Hope it was a fun show.
It was, man. And you're welcome. All right, man. I'm going to go see what your counterpart in the number 22 has to say about you. So get out of here and I'll throw him in here.
All right. Have a good night.
Mr. Mike Perry, you around?
I am, man. What's up?
Alright, I got you live. How did that number 22 feel tonight?
It was awesome at the beginning, and then middle stages of the race, it was kind of tricky, but then I nailed the wall with about 25 laps to go. Coming off turn two, it pretty much screwed the truck up the rest of the race, but that was a fun race, and Blake had a good one.
Man, I tell you, just as the at the beginning of the race, I was saying how everyone was going to kind of ride around. I did a few pre-race interviews, and I pretty much got the same answer of we're just going to ride around, get a feel for the track, get a feel for the tires, and then all of a sudden, we're talking 2 wide, 3 wide for 2 or 3 rows back. Did you expect anything like that right off the bat?
I actually did not. I made a comment in the race about that 3 wide pretty early, but yeah, it widened up pretty good, and that high line actually came in, which I did not expect at all. So pretty.
And I tell you, it was fun to watch, man. Them battles up front, that was pretty cool, man. A lot of different lines. I seen you like to take the low line. Blake was taking the high line, and both seemed to work for both of you.
Yeah, fun little track. It actually came down somewhat of a fuel mileage race. I think I had like 2 gallons left or 2 laps left or something like that. So glad it worked out. Hope you guys had a good race, or to watch, I guess.
Oh, it was fun for me, dude. All right. Well, congratulations on second place. I'll kick you out of here, and we will get ready to do this next week.
Thanks, man. Appreciate broadcasting, and see you guys next week.
Yeah, you got it, bud. All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Scott Brotherton here, finishing in 3rd place. Hey, Scotty B.
What? Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? 3rd place, buddy. How you feeling?
That was good, man. I'm sweating my ass off after that first cycle of pit stops, and I was able to run Perry down. Um, I used up pretty much everything I had to catch him. When I got by him, I was just bad out front by myself, and raced him hard there for a while until the last pit stop. But that was fun. Had a good truck.
Well, I gotta ask, that second run after that first pit stop, what the heck did you do different? Because you were flying.
The first run, I decided to just kind of run the middle of the track and save my tires and see what kind of speeds I was running. And then the second run, I hugged the bottom and worked it as hard as I could, and that's how I ran Perry down. But you can only run about 4 or 5 laps down there on the bottom before you use up a lot of your rubber. So it's just this track's very line sensitive, and it just depends on what you want to save and at what time of the race.
I was watching, man. You were killing it on that bottom. That was fun to watch. I asked Perry the same question. Wanted to know what you thought. What'd you think of that? All them decisions to start running 2 and 3 wide up front right at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, I dropped back a little bit at the start because I wasn't sure, what everybody was going to do there, and allowed Blake to get out so far. And you can run people down here, but like I said, you got to run the bottom, and all these guys are so good. You've got to really be there for the long run because we don't have cautions very often. So I short pitted early on the first pit. I should have waited and done the second one because I had to save for about 3 laps there with 15 to go. I was having to shut it off on the back stretch, and I was there behind Kurt for a little bit and trying to get a little bit of his draft and save some fuel. But yeah, still a good night. I'll take third.
I'm telling you, it was pretty fun to watch. Every time a battle would go away, another one would rise up. So it was a heck of a race. And then no cautions. Did that have anything to do with your strategy whatsoever, not having a caution? Or did you kind of plan on that?
At the start of the race, I didn't plan for it. Next week's a road course, so I can think it'll be slowed down a little bit, but I'll definitely be thinking the next oval we run because it just makes such a difference on when you pit and how long you try to stay out. Tonight should have been an easy 3-stop race, and instead I put myself in trouble with fuel.
Oh, I know it. Then not having the tires to boot with that's got to make it even better.
Yeah, that sucked, but I haven't ran up front lately in a while, or so led some laps. I don't know. I think I led maybe 25 or 30, so I'll take it.
Say, third place, nothing to shake a stick at. Well done. Good job on your third place. I'm going to kick you out of here and we can get off this thing.
Thank you, buddy.
Alright, that is going to do it. We have a winner tonight in the number 4. Blake O'Connell takes the checker flag tonight. All from everybody here at the Misfit Motorsports Racing League. I will sign off of here. Everyone have a good night, and we will see you next week.